All right. Welcome one, welcome all. We are back officially live here on my channel. It's that time. It's been many moons since the last time I streamed. Been quite a while, and I thought, what a better time than now? Fresh off the back of WordCamp US, feeling both still a little bit tired after the fact, and also very excited as well. So, of course, got to do the obligatory. If you can hear me all right, just drop in chat. And of course, as you pop in, let me know where you're from, where you're watching, and just drop a hello in chat. Would love to see everybody here. Beginning today with a goal to participate in Jamie Marsland's. He had a live speed build. He's now done that twice, 2 different WordCamps, one earlier this year at WordCamp Europe. And of course, there's been many of them that have happened online. I participated in one of those using Generate Blocks alongside Rich Tabor, which was a lot of fun. And so I thought I wanted to participate again and do it. Of course, after the fact, I watched it live at WordCamp US. Amber Hines and Brian Cords both built a specific website that Jamie came up for them on the fly, which must have been absolutely terrifying to do it in front of a live audience. I don't even know how many hundreds of people were in that room, but it was a big room and it was quite full. So you have the peanut gallery in the crowd, putting in their 2 cents and criticizing, cheering on. There was all kinds of discussion happening around the room. It was actually a very, very cool experience because, of course, there's people in the room watching live, commiserating with you rather than typing into a live chat like we're going to have here today. Both fun in their own way, but totally different. So I thought I would take this opportunity to attempt the challenge. And what I'm going to do is something a little bit different. As you all know, I use Generate Press as my theme lately and over the last couple of years. And then I use Generate Blocks, which allows me to build out basically anything on the page. And especially now with the global style system, it's kind of more comprehensive than it's ever been, more akin to like a Bricks or an Oxygen, something along those lines. And so I wanted to change it up a little bit. And this time I'm going to be doing the speed build challenge here with just core blocks. I'm going to use just a standard clean WordPress 2024 install and the native core blocks that come, straight in the editor. I want to see how far I can get. I want to see what I get hung up on. And then depending on how much time we have, maybe we'll go a little bit past the 30 minutes that's prescribed to see, can I make the page look similar? So Jamie has provided an InstaWP link that I can put in the chat and in the video description. If you're interested in participating yourself, it would be amazing, even if you don't feel comfortable on camera, to participate in this. These are very, very cool challenges, and especially if your stack is different. If you use something, different theme, different page builder, it would be awesome to participate in that. Hello, Max from Germany, Berlin. Glad to have you in. I saw Mark in and Jamie was in the chat earlier. Glad to have you guys. I think Kevin Geary is also streaming at the same time, doing the same thing, funny enough, which is great. So hopefully you have both streams open. All is well over here on my side. I hope all the same for all of you. Things are a little bit hectic right now because we have, I'm in Florida and we have a massive hurricane headed our way. So we are closely watching that over the next couple of days. It should be here tomorrow evening and we'll see. It's going to bring lots of wind, lots of rain. Right now it's looking like it's going to be a little bit to the east of us, which is actually good. On the western side of a hurricane, you have less intense wind, still lots of rain, but the wind isn't as intense like it is kind of in the center and then on the eastern edge. So we're going to be watching that. I was planning on doing this stream tomorrow, actually, tomorrow midday, but I just thought, I don't know what's going to happen with this storm. So here we are. Elijah, thanks for coming, buddy. Got your background sound. Hopefully my voice is nice and soothing and I don't get too frustrated with this. The idea, of course, is that I'm challenging myself to use only the core blocks in the standard theme. First of all, because I haven't spent that much time with it. So I want to try to be productive in this effort to maybe share what it's like from the perspective of a user who I would consider myself very familiar and accustomed to WordPress, and I've used a variety of different tools over the years, everything from, when I first started WP Bakery and Visual Composer. I had a little stint on Divi. Then I moved into Oxygen Builder for many years, used Generate Press, Generate Blocks for the last couple of years. But I haven't used just the standard blank, WordPress experience in a while. I know there's a lot of criticism about it, but I'm going to give it my best shot and just see what we can do. So what I'm going to do now is just switch over here. And this is the site that we're going to be replicating. So in Jamie's InstaWP login, he's given us the kind of pre-installed stuff, just a basic WordPress install, and he's uploaded the images. So this thing right here is actually an image. And then, like these images as we go down the page. So that'll save us a little bit of time. And then I think there's some things like that. But if you've ever watched one of the speed builds, 30 minutes goes really quickly. So some of the stuff we might not get to in the prescribed time. And actually, this was a challenge he had on stage, which was to use a query loop and pull in these recipe CPTs, which he's already created for us in the install as well. He challenged us to work on the header. And you can see that it's got that sticky function at the top. And if I scroll back, then there is a subheader up there. So I have absolutely no idea how we're going to pull that off in the 2024 theme, but we're certainly going to give this a shot. One thing I wanted to do here is, I think I can just use a 30-minute timer. Yeah, I can. Okay. Right here in Google. Oh, it's already started. I didn't want that to, I didn't want that to begin. Apparently I clicked it and it started. So we'll use this as just our basic timer. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. I don't really know what to make of this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do well. I suspect I'm going to run into some challenges. So hopefully somebody, in the core team can watch this back later and maybe just get some insight into what it's like to use this when you're not in it every single day. So hopefully all of you, like I said, are doing well. Let's go ahead and get this rolling here. So let me take a look. Do we have a home page? I guess not. So that must be part of the time. We already have the menu items or the pages that we can use for the menu. So there is a prescribed 5 minutes in the challenge of thinking time. I don't think that was with you in the back end of the website, but I'm going to cheat a little bit because I already am, of course. So I think we should just go ahead and send it. Let's just start. Let's go for our 30 minutes. And if you have any questions about WordCamp or any of the stuff that's happened lately, we can chat about that after the 30 minutes is up. There is an article on my website I'll go to real quick that I'd like you guys to see, read, and take a look. I wrote a post responding to the drama, if you will, that happened at the end of the WordCamp US keynote. I feel like I did a pretty comprehensive job covering what happened and also giving my thoughts on it, and I tried to be very constructive, so I'd love for you to check that out. And we can chat about that afterwards if you're interested. So let's go ahead here, and we are going to kick off this timer. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and we're on. So let's first of all, because I don't see a home page, we're going to just add this. And then let's start with this red bar. So I don't even think I have my global color set up yet. We'll have to do that. I actually don't even know how to set up global colors in the 2024 theme. Maybe I should start there. Editor. Is there, let's see, styles, default. Can I just edit this default? Welcome to styles. Okay, here we go. Colors. We're going to go with palette. I must need my palette. So let's replace this tan here. What else? What other colors do we have? That red one we've used a bunch, and then we just have a black. What's the hover on this? Okay, so that just stays black. That's nice and easy. Do we have any other colors other than that red and black? I guess there's technically a blue, but that's in the footer, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, well, that was easy. Is this one a full black? Not quite. So let's go with a full black there. So we'll save that in our palette, and let's go back to our homepage. Maybe there's an easier way to do that. I'll take a look at that after the fact. So I don't want a pattern here. It prompted me for that. I need to use, I think in this case, a group block. I think that acts as our container. So then styling and our background will be red, and then our text will be white. So we'll just stick in a paragraph. Probably need to add in the fonts as well. So then we want this to be centered. We want a little bit of padding on the group. So position, advanced, oh no, styles, here we go. So padding, something like that. That looks about right. And then we need this font size up just a little bit. And then where is our font weight? Is that it? Nope. Size, letter spacing, decoration, letter case, appearance, line height. Do I not have font weight? Maybe it's because I'm using a default font. We'll come back to that. Now, one thing that I'm curious about is just understanding how these containers work in terms of their width. So if I save this, yeah, like that's one thing I don't quite follow just yet, is how do I make this full width and not position, wide, block spacing. Do I have to do something to the theme? Oh, here we go. Full width, there we go. It was on the block. I wonder if there's a control for that I'm missing over here somewhere. I don't see that icon. It's not in the position area. So that should get us closer. Yeah, okay, there we go. But how do I remove the page title? Maybe that's a theme function. We'll come back to that later. So then another group, I would assume. And this one just has that big image in it. So let's pop in an image block, media library, and there's our big banner. So once again, with our group, we would just go full width. And then, is there an image size? Resolution, full size. Width, 100%. Nope, I can't do 100%. That doesn't work. Do I have to drag it? That doesn't make sense. So my group is full width, but the image is not. Border rounded. Resolution is full size. Okay. What's up, Brendan? Glad to have you, dude. Great to hang out with you all week at WordCamp. Okay, so two things I already don't understand. There's spacing between my two group blocks that I didn't ask for here. And then I have my group set to full width and my image doesn't stretch. Aspect ratio, wide, 16:9. Width, I can't type in 100%. And I can't change the unit value here. I set the resolution to full size, so if I go 1920, even if I do that, it doesn't go full width. Oh, I have to do it on the image itself? Right? Full width, save. Does this work on the front end? No. Why doesn't that work? I'm burning time. How much time do I have? 25 minutes. It conveniently puts it in the browser tab when you use the little Google timer. That's nice. Align center. Full width. Why doesn't it go full width? What if I just stick the image outside of the group? Okay, so there's something with this group block that it doesn't like. Maybe there's like an inner blocks use content width. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. Okay. I didn't understand that checkbox. So it's this one right here. Nested blocks will fill the width of this container, toggle to constrain. Oh, okay. That'll do it, but I still don't know why there is that gap between these two. Is there a gap function on our content area? Where would it be? Is it padding top, padding bottom? Margin has global padding. Oh, what is that? What is that orange bit right there being highlighted? WP style block gap 1.2 rem. Taking that away doesn't do anything. Padding top. Burning time here, but I don't understand why there's that gap. Okay, let's move on. Next. We got just a text area here. So another group. And then what is this one? That's just a stacked one. So again, we can do the same thing. So we'll pop in a heading. This is probably an H2. This text was centered. And then we have some text right there. I don't exactly know what the width is here. So let's take a look. There's probably some kind of max width wrapper around these. 1160. So our theme is 1280. So let's just go with wide width. And that should work. So we'll again turn off that inner blocks use content width. I don't quite understand the correlation between this option, inner blocks use content width, when I'm changing the group itself to be a wide width. So if I go full and turn that off, it stretches to the outer edges. Okay. I guess it kind of makes sense. I wasn't quite following it first. We're already doing better. We need some padding on this. On the top, it's pretty thin, so we're just gonna go with like maybe 1, because I think we did 2 up on that one there. I'm gonna come back and work on our fonts later. We'll do a group and a 50-50 here. Oh, it turns it into a row. I guess that's the same thing. What about the option for the width here? Why does the inner block option go away when I change it to a row? What if I turn that off? We'll go wide width. And actually, I think this one is going to be... Oh, there is another color right here, this gray. I missed that one. So these layouts like this, where the image is to the far left edge and then the text is to the right, frustrate the hell out of me. I hate these. Whenever a client sends me that, I'm like, no. Oh, wait. Did that just do this one block, or did that do the whole row? No, I think it did the whole row. Yeah, okay. So we would stick in an image, media. Which one was it? The one with the phone, this one here. And then what, do I add a group? I guess I need to set my image width to, once again, I want to go 50%, but I can't do that. And why can't I set my rows like max width or something? Or, oh, block spacing. Is that what is that the option that I was looking at a moment ago? Must be the children inside of that. So block spacing. Yeah, okay. So it applies to the inside the wrapper. Excuse me. I wonder if I need to nest all of this stuff in a group so that I can use block spacing to control every single, outside container here. Oh, why can't I? Do I have a heading? Groceries delivered. That's probably going to be an H2 as well. And then I need to close this tab. I got too many. And then we got a button. So it's starting to fit more nicely now that we have some text in here, but I don't really like that. I wish that it would kind of behave more like when I added the row and it was prompting me for like a 50-50 layout. Download app was the button, and then it's uppercase. That's the wrapper, not the button itself. So the background is like a transparent black. How do I do that? Like this. And then our text is black. And do I have to go outline button? I guess I do. Border, here we go. Border black, 1 pixel, radius 0. Is that more like it? I might have like a 2 or 3 pixel border radius here. Yeah, it's 2, okay. And then the text transform is uppercase. Can we do that? Letter case. There we go, cool. Of course, this isn't a global style though, so I have to apply that multiple times somehow. This is like a block level style. I guess I could turn this into like a pattern. It would kind of help. I can't change the button text. Is there multiple of those? That one says learn more, so that's already going to be a problem. I'll skip that for now. So this, why is my save button unsavable? Oh, I guess it did save. Well, I don't understand how to set my row widths here. Add background image, dimensions, padding, block spacing. Would this work? I guess I do want some block spacing, but then I don't want that. How do I set the width of this stuff? Content. Am I missing something here? Color. Background image, typography, dimensions. All those are turned on. What about for my row? Am I missing something here in the dimensions on the row? Block spacing, minimum height. I am not sure, because that is like basically a 50-50 and mine is more like 70-30. So what is dictating this? Is this just some kind of flex layout? Yeah, there's like nothing here that would kind of dictate that. I wonder if I need to wrap the image in a group. Let me just stick a group in there to double check. And then can I drag that inside the group? Does that work better? Is that all I had? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to save here. It's the opposite direction of where I wanted to go. 16 minutes. I'm already running out of time. Do I center it? That doesn't seem right. Well, actually, that's what I want, but I want this leftmost group to stretch. Nope, that's not what I want. I thought that was closer, but I guess not. Well, for the interest of time, because we only have 16 minutes left, I'm going to keep moving. That needs some more spacing on this one, and then I want to change my fonts before we run out of time. So let's go maybe like 3 there. I don't actually even know what that interval is. I wonder if I could change like the root spacing value in the theme and not have to go to theme.json. I wish there was a way to just set a max width. Or let me change the value here, because if I could just set this image to 50% width, that would be perfect. Maybe it's possible and I just don't know how. Okay, so next up is another little red banner like this. So I am just going to copy and paste that, take advantage of the, oops, that's a link. I did not know that. I recall Amber pointing that out on stage at WordCamp. I want to change the font weight here as well. Maybe once I change it from the default, I can do that. So perhaps we'll come back to that. And of course, since it's a link, I actually like that the native theme adds the underline, because I wouldn't have clicked on that on the other website had I known. So then this is another similar layout here. So let's swap the text real quick. And then swap this image. Ice cream. And then learn more is the button text. Learn more. All right, so what's next? Another red one and another block, okay? So we got our group, and then we got another row. Like that. And nourish and inspire. And then order now. Okay, let's take a look on the front end real quick. So I need to get rid of this somehow. How do I remove the page title? I don't know yet. And then we have our first banner. Don't know how to get rid of that gap. This looks okay, but it looks like there's another bit of gap right here. The same one. Sorry, I just shook the camera really badly. Same thing, another little gap. Don't know quite where that's coming from. Same thing. What was the image here on this one? The salad one. Okay. Open media library, salad. Oh no, this one. Okay. What does this do? Oh, that sets the static value. I don't want that. And then now we have this 4 wide kind of grid area. Okay, cool. So a new layout for us to make. We'll go add after, we'll just type in row, I think, because that's what we want. And then the row doesn't actually add anything, but it seems to indicate that it would. Like, it wants me to add a block in here. So do I need to just add like 4 groups? Or do I want a grid? What's the difference between a row and a grid? Oh, it turns it into a grid. Okay. Minimum column width, 12 rem. There's a minimum height. Let me just stick in like a paragraph. It's so strange. That looks like it's like so weirdly unusable. I'll just pop this text in there. Clearly I'm doing something wonky here because we'll go, it's actually full width, this area. And then we have some like left and right padding to bring it just off the edges. Why does it look like that? Manual. Columns. Here we go. 4. Okay. That looks better. That's not what I meant to do, but that works. And then an image. It was like the orange one. This text needs to come over here. Can I like wrap this with a group or something? I had before. Group. Single. Image. In the group. Go in the group. Paragraph. Go in the group. Okay. So an image. Text and then a button. I guess I can just copy this button from here. Oh, I guess I gotta copy the wrapper. There we go. What does it say? Order online. Okay, and then this row needs a full white background color. Oh no, actually it's not white. It's ooh, this crazy pattern. Okay. Add background image. That's not there. So just for the interest of time, because we only have 11 minutes left, we're just going to do this red. Then we're going to give this group a background color of white. And then just stick in some padding. Is there a way to link all the paddings? I guess I just got to do it separately. Okay. That'll work. Our grid, is there a way to make this full width? Because I don't think that's going to work. Width, fill, fixed. No. Oh, wrong one. Okay, and then our row, we need some padding on as well. And then can I just duplicate this 4 times? 3 and 4. The image is much bigger than it should be. How big is this? Just 100 pixels. Okay, I guess I should have done that. Here's where a class or some sort of global styling would be nice, because now I need to center these as well. I guess I could have just copied it, like done it once and then duplicated them again. Oh, I wonder if I can just set the whole group to center align somehow. No. Oh, there is call span. I didn't know that. That's cool. Can I just center this? Can I center this? Button? Do I have to do it on the outside wrapper? Wide width. Justify item center. Okay, yeah, I am gonna just delete these and then duplicate it now. Now that I have, where am I? There we are. Can I just control, no. Is it Control Shift D? Does that duplicate? Yeah, there we go. Okie dokie. 9 minutes. We're about to run out of time. I want to change these images just so they look proper. Green, blue, pink. Green, blue, and pink. Okay. Let's save and look at this real quick. That's pretty close. It's just mainly the difference in font and then the padding on the upper part of the wrapper here. So we'll Take some more padding up on the top. Maybe one tick down. That might be too much. And then the cards are a little bit more narrow. So I think on this grid, there was a gap option. Block spacing. Yeah, here it is. That's better. That's almost it. Oh, I forgot the headlines. That's why. I was like, why is this still not the right height? I'm just going to pop these in really quick. And then heading H3 maybe. Text align center. And then like that. That font is quite a bit smaller, so I probably should have done that before I before I did that. Luckily, it's pretty easy to switch. Still the wrong fonts, and I have 7.5 minutes left, but that looks really, really close. I don't have the pattern in the background, but that's okay. Okay, now we're down to the query loop, which I am very interested in trying. So let's go with a group just for the sake of our layout controls here, and then we're going to pop in a query loop. I got to change that group again to inner blocks use content width. Let's start with a pattern. Let's see what we got. What's going to get us the closest? So image, text, headline, and then the text. So very, very standard layout. Just like this one. Well, we can't inherit the query from the template because we're pulling in from the recipe CPT. So there we go. Filters. Keyword. Oh, I have to type in the keyword. Okay. That's something else we can look at later. How do I change the width here? I want more than one. Post template. Spacer, pagination. Block spacing. Post template, featured image. How do I make it so that there is more than one in a row? Shuffle, display settings, items per page, offset, maximum number of pages. Having the offset option built in right there is pretty cool. Why can I not find the option to change how many are in a thingy? I mean, I did pick it from that template, but I assumed that it would allow me there would be just like a toggle. I could just change the width. Is it part of this group? What if I crank down the padding? Nope. Damn it. Post template? Surely it's got to be just like the width or something of this. Why is this so hard? What the hell? Okie dokie. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I don't feel like it should be that difficult. Let's just try again. We're going to start blank. We're going to go image, date, and title. That'll work. Again, though, it's still got the same problem. Why can I not make it so that there's like 4 in a row? Post template, featured image, date. Okay, well, I'm going to give up on that because we only have 4.5 minutes and I want to get the fonts working. Okie dokie. Oh, not duplicate. That's not what I meant to do. Before the query loop, I'm going to add in a little groupy whoopy. I like to just wrap stuff in containers because it's nice and easy. So this will probably be in H2. This says feast. Oops, not with an extra space below it. There we go. Your destination for all things good food. And there must have been some weird styling on that because it brought in a little dot there. Why can I not switch this back to a paragraph? Or can I? There we go. Transform to paragraph. Got it. And then can I just align center the group? Shouldn't there be an align center on the group so that the content's inside of it? No? Okie dokie. If I take them both? Nope. Okay. I would have thought that'd just be like a standard sort of cascade type thing. Okay, so we're pretty close, but we only have 3.5 minutes left, and I really would like to swap out these fonts. So let me go back in here. Where did this even just take me? I guess to my head. Oh, I'm not even going to get a chance to do the header. Damn. Styles. Typography. Here we go. Fonts. Install. Allow. What are the fonts here? Oops. Cambon. Never heard of that. Cambon. Oh, Cambo. Is that what it said? No, it says Cambon. Is that not? Maybe that's a custom font. H3 is Oscar 1. Are these not Google fonts? I'm going to do Cambo because that's the closest we got. And then, what was the other one? Oscar 1? Okie dokie. What are the fonts in the root? That's not helping because those have been overridden. I guess it's Oscar 1. So we're just going to do that Cardo font. That doesn't look right though. What's the closest one I can find here? Sago? Is that a Google font? Nope. All right, well, let's just go Roboto because I want something else. Let's just go with those. Install. Fonts installed successfully. Okay. So then do I just, what do I do? Text, font. Is that the right one? Yes. Oh, actually, no. That's not quite the same. Unless it's just more bold. That might be right. Then our headings will be Cardo, I guess. Maybe that's just the default font and I'm getting myself tripped up. What do I have? 58 seconds. No! It's that Cambo one. So I guess I'm just going to go with the Roboto and then what's the font weights on those? Uh, 500. Appearance. Bold. That's 700. Let's go semi-bold. Or medium. Okie dokie. So back and on the front end. So we have 3 seconds left. 2, 1. There's the timer. Okay. Gosh, that 30 minutes flies by so fast. Really crazy. I'm going to drop a wow in the chat. Well, let's take a look. So I guess I didn't set my home page to home, so let me do that real quick. Okay, so a couple of things I didn't get to in the time. Didn't even get a chance to touch the header. I got all of the sections minus the font size and the font weight there, then minus the little gap. I know the headline font is wrong, but I couldn't find that one. The widths, couldn't figure out how to change the group kind of like containers width. Maybe there's a better approach to do that. Same thing, gap again, width again. Maybe it would have been better to use a group and then like a background image instead of an actual image block. Maybe that's where I messed up. I did get this card section situated, and then I couldn't figure out how to change the query loop to be a 4 wide grid like we would have had here. And then, because of that, I lost some time and I didn't have a chance to get to this recipe function. So not bad in 30 minutes. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, if you weren't here, I basically haven't used the default theme and default block editor experience for any length of time. I mean, like kind of at all. So that was part of the experiment here, was to figure out how far can you get in that time. And, being someone like me that is experienced with WordPress and has used many different themes and page builders, I mean, I'm reasonably happy with that, but there are some small things. I guess what I'm going to try to do real quick is figure out where the hell that gap is coming from. Maybe if I dig around in like the theme editor. What is this? Style book, gallery, list, quote, archive audio. Nope, I don't want any of that, I don't think. I heard Brian on stage at WordCamp US talking about a cover block. So I wonder if instead of a group, or maybe if I had just added the background image to this group. What was it? The one with the phone. And then maybe if I get rid of the image, and then left 50%. Is that on the position of the background image? I guess it is. If I wanted it to be centered like that. I still just don't see how to control the widths of the row here. I mean, minimum height. If there was a min width, that'd be fine. Transform to grid. And then minimum column width. Oh, here we go. Manual 2. And then is there a minimum height here? Well, how tall is that image? It's very tall. 700. It actually has a min width on it, interestingly. Okay, that's more like it. So I should have just used a grid in this case. And then can I center, like vertically align this? Can I do it this way? If I use a stack, center, orientation, where's my, why is there not just like a, oh, here we go, align middle. I wonder why that control doesn't exist over here. We have justify, but then we have an align items up in that top bar for some reason. Okie dokie. That's better. Certainly closer. Although my headline was centered, which it doesn't need to be. Do I have my stack? Oh, it's because the justification of my stack. I must have changed that. Okay. There we go. That's like nearly 1-to-1, other than the font being different, which I don't think is actually a Google font, so that's not something I could have done anything about. Yeah, that's like dead on. Okay, so lesson learned. I can just use a grid, excuse me, and achieve exactly what I was after. I would have, I think the reason why I was hung up on that in this case was because if I did this in generate blocks, I would have just used a container, and then I would have just used, well, it's funny, used a container and then applied grid to it. So this is just like a slightly different way of achieving the same thing. You have a grid element, which, I mean, generate blocks did and still does have, but you can just use like CSS grid. So that's kind of what I was looking for, but this definitely works. Okay, now the other question is, how do I get rid of this page title? I'd assume it was in the page options here, but it doesn't appear so. Template, pages, edit template maybe? Oh yeah, here we go, here we go. So remove the title, spacer, featured image, content. So let's just get rid of this whole group. So then does that get rid of it? There we go. Okay, that's not too bad. And then if I wanted Since I'm working on the pages template, can I have more than one? I would assume so. Template pages. Yeah, okay. So what happens if I go back? Oh, that's not where I wanted it to take me. I wanted to go to my templates. All templates. Page no title. Oh, there is one called page no title. So how do I switch it? Swap. Oh, okay. So I didn't actually have to do that. I could have just selected the other one. Got it. That's good to know. And then what about these pesky gaps underneath the block? What happens when I put my cursor here and I add a paragraph? It sticks it between them, but I don't want that. Is that part of the template functionality as well? Theme. I'm getting a little turned around here. I guess I got to go back to templates, all templates. Then let's go to the one called pages, which is what we were just working with. Isn't this the one that I already deleted the headline from? Okay, so here's our content area, layout, and then block spacing. Is that it? That 1.2 rem? So if I just turn that to 0, and then let's see, go to the front end of this one. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's the block spacing that's the default. That's where that was coming from. Okay. I'm learning a lot here. Now, the only problem is what does this look like on mobile? Oh boy. Let's go just straight down to iPhone 12. That looks fine. Image looks fine. This headline area looks fine. This needs to have collapsed. All of these need to have collapsed. That definitely needs to have collapsed. And then because we're only using a one column query loop, that looks fine there as well. So I wonder, how can I control that, or can I? Like for example, on this one, is there like a grid minimum column width, minimum column width? That doesn't appear to do anything. Typography, dimensions, margin, width, minimum height. Yeah, okay, I guess there's no option for me to do that because of course there's no responsive controls. So what do? Write your own CSS for that? That seems kind of not ideal. Like what would your choice even be here? Display grid, and then you could just make it collapse to 1. There's some wonky ass CSS in here. This is crazy. Oh wait, is it because I have a block inside of that? Which one is actually applying the grid? Oh, it's just the, yeah, okay. All right, just making sure I understand what's going on here. Well, pretty interesting. I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised with how far, I actually wanted to look at the header too. Let me go take a look at that. I assume, let's see, templates, page, single. Is it not a template? How do I get to that? Oh, okay, I can just click it and I can just go to it. So my header, I can edit that. And then template part header, position sticky. That's just built right in, which is nice. However, that subheader, could I just go with another group before that? So let's say group, and then this one will need to be full width. So then we would just have 2 paragraphs. What were the 2 links there? Locations and contact us. And then contact us. Okay. I'm just going to cheat a little bit and use that as one link. So then our group padding on the right, just a little bit to lift it off. We'll just do 1 and 1 like that. So we set this group to, oh, well, I thought I did. What did I apply the sticky to? Didn't I do it on this one? Okay. So that should have given us our links and contact us. Nope. Why didn't that work? Refresh. Second group. Position sticky. This block will stick to the top of the window instead of scrolling. Wonder why it didn't work. Is this template not applied to like the page? No, it's definitely there. IDK? That's weird. I wonder if there's like some caching problem or something that is making it so that won't appear. I don't know. Well, I mean, overall, I'm pretty pleased with how far I was able to get. A couple of little things that I just didn't know where the options were, and of course there's some pretty major things missing like responsive controls. So I don't know how you would be able to do that if you weren't able to write your own CSS. I think you'd just be immediately switching to a different theme, which of course opens its whole, its own whole can of worms. But I was able to get a decently far distance in that time. So that's exactly what I wanted to try, was just see how far you can get. It's, oh man, in some ways it's like frustrating how close it is, because if it had responsive controls and just a couple of other small little things, like you could definitely build a site with this. Like it's very, very close. And then just some of the other little things, like why is it so difficult to figure out how to change the query loop from like this one layout to the 4-card layout like we wanted here in this section? Like that seems like it should be so simple. And I know I'm slightly panicked when I'm under the 30-minute time limit, but it just seems like that should be a fair bit easier. So, credit where credit's due. You can definitely get some stuff done here, but there's still some pieces missing if you're not a person that knows how to write CSS that you would really struggle with and probably find quite frustrating. Fortunately, something, like Generate Blocks free will get you a large part of the way there. You could use a container and some of their responsive controls, but then you're kind of blending those two tools, and that's not the point of this particular stream. With that, that's about all I wanted to cover today. If you guys, anybody watching, has some questions before I sign off, I think that's where we're going to leave it. So I'll give you a minute just to ask a question in chat. And real quick, I'm going to try to find if, now that I'm not under the time pressure, if on this query loop, I can figure out how the heck to change this to multiple per row. Because surely it should not be that difficult. One would think. Dimensions, block spacing is my only option. Post template. I mean, I just don't see it. Let me try adding the query loop again. We will choose a template. All of these are one call. Stick this back in. Chris, the grid icon on the toolbar when you have post template highlighted. Oh, why is that not in the sidebar? Oh, it's so annoying. Okay. Well, there's that. Thank you, Chris. What was the width here? Wide width. And then there's something else here, I assume. Yeah, there we go. In here at query, we want recipe. Wide width, right? Or full width. Why is it not expanding the width? Maybe it's this outer wrapper. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, there is that. That's one of those things that now I'll remember Of course, I broke the layout because I chose a different template. That's one of those things that I'll remember now that I've seen it, but it just doesn't quite make sense that it only exists in that control right here, rather than it also being in this function. I feel like this layout option, what happens when I switch it back to this? Yeah, there's a layout button right here, but it's like, what if I'm looking right here, which is exactly what I was doing for, 90 seconds, trying to figure out how the heck do I switch this to a grid? But the button is right there. So at least it's possible, but definitely a little bit cumbersome, I would say. That is cool. I hope all of you enjoyed this peek at that. I would imagine many of you watching probably use GeneratePress or Bricks or something like that. Definitely a fun exploration, and I appreciate Jamie for doing all of these speed build challenges. It's quite fun to see everybody else's workflow and how you would do it, how different people approach it. Like Amber Hines on stage used Cadence, which I have never seen before. And it was interesting. I was overwhelmed by the number of blocks that exist in Cadence. That was pretty crazy. When she would hit the plus and all the Cadence blocks would show up. There's like a million of them, which is kind of wild. Clearly it works for some people. But I mean, if there's just give me responsive controls, and I mean, you can get reasonably far. Granted, this is one page on one site, and I would still have a lot to learn here about global styling, just in terms of spacing and, like if I wanted to change the styling of some of these buttons, they're not linked right now. I could, of course, try to cobble together something to do with like a pattern, but then I would want some buttons to have the same styling, but different text, and, you sort of lose the connection that way. It's definitely like usable, but for a larger site, I would be a bit nervous just based on the global styling aspect to it. So if anybody from, the block editor team, core team, whatever is watching, hopefully there's some value for you here to just see how somebody who's fairly used to WordPress might operate in this environment. And definitely going to be paying a closer attention to this moving forward. So hope all of you enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. As always, if you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. I appreciate every single one of you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.